heard it online and you think there's no rival. You want it for your collection, but have you heard it on vinyl? Hello and welcome back to But Have You Heard It on Vinyl with myself, Simon, and as per usual over there, Danny. Hello, Danny.
Well, hello there.
How you doing?
I'm okay. Had a lovely Easter. I like April because April is the world wakes up. The first couple of months of the year are kind of meh. And then March is a pricey one for me with birthdays and Mother's Day and shit. And so April, get Easter out of the way, and now it's like, right, ready for the year. I think everybody kind of feels that we're ready for the year.
Yeah, the weather's started to perk up a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah. And from our point of view, musically, not a lot happens in January, February.
No, it's definitely getting busy now, thick and fast.
A lot of people now going, oh, we've got a new album coming out, we're doing this, we're doing that, and it's like, ooh, things are happening. And before you know it, we've got too much stuff to put into a show.
Yeah, exactly, which isn't a bad thing to have. I'd rather that than me and you sat there going, wow.
How's you?
Still, there you go.
He says choking his guts up.
I've basically got a similar thing to what I had a couple of weeks ago, so I've just took a nice long weekend off, had like 6 days or something stupid, and was pretty much sick for the whole thing, so I'm alright.
Was you a sickly child?
No, not really. Not that I remember. I used to go and get good things.
Adulthood.
I'd get appendicitis and stuff like that. That was
the good shit.
All the good stuff, yeah. But I don't remember being a sickly child, personally. But yeah, no. Anyway, so yeah, I was just feeling a bit rough this week. Went back to work and had to do 3 days, and it just felt like a massive effort. But I've got a good cough, which sounds like I've been smoking for many, many, many years. All right, well, on this week, we will be doing our usual talk about what we've been listening to. We've got the Vinyl Countdown, which is our new segment, and this time it is 1976, and we haven't been sued yet for the jingle.
Yet.
Our feature this week...
Gotta find us.
Our feature this week is Corrosion of Conformity's brand new album, Good God, Bad Man, which...
Woohoo!
I think we've got a lot to say about it because it is not left the turntable. So that's us. And then we got the general waffle of some of the stuff that's coming out, and we might even touch a little bit on Record Store Day that's coming up, but not going to dwell on that one. Alright, well, I'm just going to jump headfirst into it. What have I been listening to? Alright, well, we've had a couple of things, a couple of reissues, and something old, something new, so we'll go into that one. Well, I think I talked about it before. Exodus released their new album this year called Goliath, which in the end I started streaming. I really quite enjoyed it. It's good blast of just thrash metal, so I thought, what the hell, I went and grabbed it, and I've enjoyed it. Like, it's not going to blow anybody away, it's not going to be the next Master of Puppets or anything like that. Solid enough album. I quite enjoyed it. It's got some little twists and turns, got a few epic songs, a few ones which are just straight in and get on and go in. I very much have enjoyed the swapping vocalists back to Rob Duke, who was the vocalist a few years ago. He very much fits the style a lot more than the sort of high-pitched whine of... I can't remember his name is. Steve.
Steve.
You
know Steve. You know Steve.
Steve Zutro?
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is. But yeah, so the as we said before, the album cover is atrocious. Once again, it's a terrible, terrible cover. But I don't think they've actually got one good cover, so...
No, I mean, they started off with a terrible cover, so might as well carry on.
Yeah. If you like Exodus, you're not going to be disappointed. 10 songs. I think it's part of a double album. I think there's another album coming in. Or they've recorded enough for a double album, so there's another one coming out next year or the year after or something. And it is what you think it's going to be, do you know what I mean? Like, got songs like Violence Works, and just like Goliath. Like, there's a couple of really, like, it starts off quite subdued, I think, 3-1-1-1, but then it kind of kicks in with more of the riffs, and then from there there's a lot of like real fast-paced ones. You've got a slow one with Goliath, and yeah, I've kind of just enjoyed it. I can't really say too much about it. They've changed production team. I think normally they've been having Andy Sneap, who is the guitarist now in or standing guitarist in Judas Priest. And they've got Mark Lewis, who I think he cut his teeth doing like Trivium and people like that. It's a very, very modern production. which we're not really a massive fan of when it comes to metal. But me and you both said the same sort of thing.
Yeah, but you kind of accept it for this sort of style of band. It is what it is. Nobody's kind of jumping out of that. Is that Andy Sneap? Is he the guy that did... Has he done... Did he do Testament?
Yeah,
is he the guy from Sabbath?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and he did Arch Enemy, he's done a Carcass, he's done all kinds of things. He was the metal producer or mixer of the time. Everyone was using him. I think like in the 90s it was all Colin Richardson, and then they kind of swapped to Andy Sneap, and he's kind of done loads of stuff. Like, he's very good, but he's got very much... It's tight drums, it's really, really middly guitars. Yeah. It's quite harsh on the ears, I find, after a while. He did the last Judas Priest album, which sounded awesome, but that was quite a modern sounding metal album as well. I am glad we've still got the likes, like you say, it's not going to change the world, but I am still glad we've got the likes of your Exoduses and Testaments, etc. about, because these were the guys that were there in the 80s and they're still doing their thing, and it's never going to be like, oh my god, but it's always just, it's nice to have them because they never do bad albums, and we're of an era where it's just a comfort. We're glad to have them, you know, because a lot of these modern thrash bands are kind of taking from these guys, so you might as well have the originals. Yeah, still got the original drummer, still got Gary Holt charging the way. It's quite a collaborative album for once. I think Gary normally does most of the writing, but it's quite an even split. I think the other guitarist has put in quite a bit. Even the drummer wrote some lyrics, so I think it's nice to have a bit of probably a bit of variation in the material, just because everyone's sort of put into it. So that was quite a good one. So yeah, I did enjoy it. Like I said, it's, if you don't like Exodus, you're not going to like it. If you do like them, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. So that's pretty much all you can say about them. Really. Cool. The second thing I got hold of was the reissue of Therapy, One Cure Fits All. Talking about bad sleeves. Yeah, no, it is one of their worst album sleeves ever. I love Therapy with a passion, but artwork is not their forte. Yeah, so this is, I'm guessing this is the 20th anniversary. So they've decided to get a reissue, so it's on, first time on vinyl, you can get it on black. This is the red one. It says it's been remastered, because I think it's been a little bit missold, because I know quite a lot of people were like, oh, is it like sorted out all the problems? Because sonically I think quite a lot of people were quite down on this album, just because I don't think it's as crisp as their other ones. It sounds a little bit muddy. I think the remastering pepped it a little bit. I don't think I've noticeably gone, oh wow, that's really, really changed. It's nice to have it on vinyl, but at the end of the day, for me, it's probably one of my least favourite albums by them. Yeah, I think we possibly both put it bottom when we did the rankings last year. But again, like, you know, it's Therapy. There's still merit to it, you know. Oh yeah, like there's still some really good songs on it. You got Sprung, I like Unconsoled, a few other ones like that. Our White Noise. It's just a bit of a tame album. I think the lyrics let it down mainly, and I think they sort of slip into a bit of just some bog standard riffs, nothing really exciting on the album. So yeah, I think they came off doing the Nain album, Never Apologise, Never Explain, which was just nasty, in your face, absolutely exciting album to listen to, and for some reason they thought maybe we'll try and do something a bit more radio friendly. I'm not sure if that was their idea, but they just didn't really have the songs. They got the producer from The Darkness to do it, who didn't really do a very good job. I don't think he really was that kind of style of music, so for them, it just is a bit of a bland album. I feel like it was the last time they chased something. I think it was the last time they chased a certain sound or audience, because the vast majority of what they've done since has been great. Yeah, it's an odd choice as well. I don't know if it's just because it's 20th, because they seem to have missed out. Never Apologise, Never Explain. You've had High Anxiety and stuff. So I don't know if they will come, because I think the fans would probably be more excited about those ones, like, because they've never been released on vinyl. I think there's those two, Shameless and Suicide Pact. Well, Suicide Pact's the one, isn't it? That's the one everybody wants. Yeah, that one and Nain I'd be more than happy to. So I'm hoping, because this one's come out, eventually they might get some of the other ones coming through, so wait and see. But it was nice to listen to it. I put it on a few times and then kind of remembered why I don't listen to it too much. I'm just being honest. It is what it is. It's what we do. It's nice to have in the collection. So yeah, it's nice to have in the collection. And the last one for me is something that you pushed my way. Hasn't hit me as hard as UFO, and that is Scorpions. So I got hold of a copy of the Love Drive album, which I have been told is the second album with Michael Schenker is on it, but then from what if you read the credits, he's not on it.
No, it's contentious.
Which has caused quite a bit of problem. According to him, he's done a few solos and wrote quite a bit of the material. But if you read the liner notes,
he didn't.
Nothing would tell you. Nothing would tell you that this has happened, and I think it caused the start of the major rift between him and his brother. But anyway, so yeah, I think you've suggested a few albums to me. Like I was trying to find Blackout, because I think that's the one which I've enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
But this one was there. It was really, really cheap. It's one of the reissues from 2015, and it comes on red vinyl, and it's got that soft touch sleeve.
Yeah,
that we talked
I
about
love them.
before.
I picked up a few of those reissues. I chuffed as hell with them because they're brilliant. But I missed Love Drive and Black X. I've already got they're pretty battered original copies, but they're still playable. They're still my copies. There's no point in me picking up new ones for no particular reason. So, but they do look nice.
But from an album, I've really, really enjoyed it. Like Loving You Sunday Morning is a bit of a sort of slow opener, and it goes into Another Piece of Meat. Not the greatest lyrics, but it's still a great song. Coast to Coast is a really, really cool one.
Yeah,
there's not really a bad track on it. I think I really like Is There Anybody There?
Oh, it's brilliant.
Slightly reggae-ish.
Brilliant song.
Slightly reggae-ish. Slightly. I don't know what you would. I don't know. It's got a very different flavour to anything I've heard them do before.
I don't know where they picked that up from, because it's like they're not usual trend chasers. I wouldn't even say reggae was a particular trend then, but I don't know. It's just got they've heard something and thought, oh, let's try something like that. I've never done anything like it since.
No, it very much stood out. But production wise, it sounds great. It's just a good song. I like Coast to Coast. That's the instrumental, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the ones which Schenker's meant to be on. He rejoined them, didn't they? And then they got rid of the guitarist, and then they got the guitarist back because then they had a disagreement and he left.
Awkward.
And it was all a bit
awkward.
But no, it's definitely good. I think it's the vocals are the only thing that sort of puts me off more. They suit the music, but they're a bit. I don't think they've quite got the grit that I was really enjoying out of UFO. He's a lot higher.
Yeah, the problem you got there is Phil Mogg is one of the great rock singers. He's got such a smooth, brilliant rock voice, and Klaus is just. I love Klaus. I slightly prefer the Scorpions to UFO, but vocal wise, I'd pick Phil every time. But that's not taking anything away from Klaus. He's just very unique. Nobody else sings like that.
No, but it's another Hypnosis front cover, which is just as weird as normal, with the lady with her norks out and chewing gum, or God knows what, part of his skin peeling off her. But there you go.
I do wonder if bands ever question the artwork. Well, we've got Hypnosis in to do this one, lads. Oh, brilliant. Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Well, yeah, to be honest, I'm learning more and more about them, because to be honest, I only really knew about them from the later stuff, because I know I kind of like, you'd see the Pink Floyd ones and go, that is a stunning cover. Like, you Wish You Were Here's, Dark Side of the Moon, all that sort of stuff. And then some of the guys from it have gone on and done other very well-known covers. Like, they used to do quite a lot of the Biffy Clyro stuff. They've done some Anthrax. They've done all these other ones which you just go, that is just such an amazing front cover. And then you see these and go, oh.
Are these the leftovers?
I don't know if they warmed up to it through their later years or what, or it's just, as you said, there's the big payout and the other ones are going, I'm sure we've got a photo somewhere. Has anybody taken anything recently? That'll be fine. I still love the fact that UFO literally get given the album sleeve and then they go, oh, what's this picture called? Oh, okay, well, that's the album. That's what it's called. Absolutely no effort has gone into it. But no, so I think Scorpions I will invest a bit more, look into. I said, I think you've given me quite, there's a lot to delve into with them.
I know for me, the Scorpions from the get-go right through to the very turn of the 90s, I'll take any of them. Some are better than others, but by and large, every album, I really enjoy every album. Okay. UFO had their golden period with Schenker. They started off slow. You got your handful of albums with Schenker, which are fantastic. There's 2 or 3 after Schenker, which are really great, and then they just kind of peter off.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, I've not heard great things about the 90s era and beyond Scorpions, so... No,
that's when they really did try different things and just went a bit, I don't know. The last album they did, Rock Believer, was about 5 years ago. That's really good. It's like one of the early, one of the sort of mid-80s albums. It's just a strong rock album, anthemic and that. But from sort of like 93 to like 2020, nah. No, they didn't do a lot in that period, to be fair. There's about 3 or 4 albums, but...
Is that the one with Mickey D on drums?
The latest one, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool. All right, well, there you go. That's all my plays this week. Quite a simple one.
Quite a simple one. Just like yourself, sir.
It is. I am a simple man.
I went... As it was Easter, I went and revisited Vinyl Shakedown again in Burbage in Leicester. It wasn't quite the hall this time, but I did pick up an absolute cracker, which is Fables of the Reconstruction, REM.
Still on the REM. I
am, and this is the general theme of my bit, because I just, that's pretty much all I've been listening to. A little bit of that, a little bit of the Fall. This was 24 quid. It's excellent condition. He puts the grading on the sleeve. And it really is, it's bang on for an album that's 43 years old. Fantastic pressing, sounds great, no crackles or pops. Sleeves, fantastic condition. Really pleased to pick that one up because I wasn't looking for it. And then, of course, because I've been listening to a lot of REM, I've had to go online and order a load of shit. I have sort of 2 or 3 REM albums on vinyl, which, I mean, Monster, we've talked about Monster before, I absolutely adore that. I've got that. I've got Out of Time, but I've never really played that much. But I've really got into that lately.
Okay. So the one you just got then, so that's what, their 3rd album, was it?
That was their 3rd album. I've then gone and bought their 4th album, which is Life's Rich Pageant.
Is that the one with End of the World and stuff?
No, that's the one after this.
It's Document.
Still not heard that one. Still not heard Document. That's the one which I've still not heard it.
It's got One I Love in it.
And Finest Work song. They were just getting bigger and bigger and bigger with every album, basically. Life's Rich Pageant, again, got an original pressing of this from Discogs. Nice textured sleeve on this. Great condition again, because I'm specifically looking for... Right, I want original pressing, I want in great condition, because these things aren't that expensive. I think this was 30 quid. And then I picked up Green, because I've never heard Green. I know Stand on a new Orange Crush, and it's the kind of start of their big... stadium rock band era.
I think it's the one which properly... Was that the first one as major label? Is that
it's the first one on Warner's, I think, yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's the first one on Warner's. This is when a lot of the purists kind of went, no. Bye. But yeah, this is a pretty great album. I can't believe I've never listened to it. Another great pressing from the seller on Discogs. I think that was about 30 quid as well, so, they're there. Some bands you can just get... original pressings and they're not that expensive. I guess because they're big sellers and at the time and they're big bands. It's funny how it works sometimes, Sometimes the obscurest things are cheap and the most popular stuff's expensive, but there you go.
I think it's like we said before, it depends on the era. There could have been quite a lot of... It's like you said with Beatles stuff. You can always get them cheap because there was just so many copies out at that point. Like... The 80s was still the height of vinyl and stuff, wasn't it? So there's probably quite a lot out there to get hold of. It's all the 90s stuff where vinyl
the
was
90s was the worst, yeah, because they didn't make much pressing of anything. Or if I put that into English, they didn't press many copies. It's all CD. The last REM album I picked up, what I tried to do, I wanted to get New Adventures in Hi-Fi. But there's a very specific pressing I want, and it's mega book, so I've got to keep an eye out for that. This is Automatic for the People, which has long been my favourite REM album. I think it's most people's favourite REM album.
The darkest one, I think.
Yeah, REM themselves will say, yeah, this was the era, that was us. And again, there was a specific pressing of this. They reissued this for, I think it was National Album Day or something about...
Right,
so it's on yellow vinyl, so I specifically wanted that. What I will say about this, I went on Discogs, found a copy, good price, ordered it. Very next morning, I had an email off the seller saying, oh yeah, sorry, no, we haven't got it. Refunded me. I was like, oh Christ. So I went back on quickly. Within half an hour, found another copy, similar price. Great, order that. And then within about half an hour of that, they emailed me back and said, yeah, no, sorry, we haven't got it, sorry. Like, seriously? So eventually I just went to Juno. Juno, I paid about an extra £5, and it came the very next day, which was a Sunday, which we've said about Juno before, they're fantastic. Sometimes you just think, I'm just going to go to Juno to start with going forward. Because that annoys me on Discogs. I've had that happen a couple of times on Discogs where they come back. I mean, at least they came back quickly and said, no, sorry, we haven't got it, we just haven't updated the list. But sometimes you wait in a week and you go, hello, where is it? And they go, oh yeah, no, so I can't find it. I'll have a look again. Like, and you're just like, seriously? I'm waiting here. Chuffed, I've got these little REM hauls because I've been listening to them throughout the week on and off. I'm not immersing myself into like play after play after play. But you know, they're a band. When you're in a phase, you can just listen to them constantly. But from this point forward, it'll just be the occasional pulling out, just like any other record in the collection, just giving it a spin. And they're all fantastic albums.
Which one out of the four has got you the most this time?
Well, obviously I knew Automatic. To be fair, I knew Fables. I had a digital version for years, but I've not listened to it for a long time. So that was nice. That jumped out at me because I've been listening to Murmur and The Reckoning a lot. And thinking, I don't think Fables is as good as those two, you know, just from memory serving. But putting it on, it absolutely is, and it is the next leap into the 80s for them. So that's been a good album.
Cool.
I would say Green. I kind of knew Life's Rich Page it was going to be good because it's the same era. Green, I had no idea. I'd heard the two singles. I knew they'd become like a sort of big pop band by then. But yeah, I was surprised to how good and consistent an album it is, because it's not a lot of people sort of deride it as well, there you go, we've lost them now, they've gone corporate sort of thing.
But then it's just their confidence. I think they got their confidence. Like Orange Crush is just such an amazing song. It's probably one of my favourite ones by them.
No, I
don't know what it is about it. It's got a wicked rhythm. I love the chorus. It's a chorus. Like they're very good at sometimes just not really having choruses. I find like there's just a line and then it will just sort of weave in and out. But Green, I do remember. I've never bought it, but I think I'm a bit like you. I think I had a flatmate who was really into them, so I kind of remember him putting it on quite a bit. But I think when we were talking last time, the one which I remember Out of Time?
Yeah.
That's the one that I remember coming out and they were just everywhere, and that's when I kind of turned off to them.
Yeah,
because there's only so many times I can hear Shiny Happy People and whatever the other big song off that album was at the time.
Losing My Religion and
those ones. I think it just became a bit too much. I think they were just everywhere, and I ignored them. But then I heard Monster and was just like, oh, it's not the same. It doesn't sound like the same band.
Out of Time's a funny one because I've had that a long time, and I only picked that up. It was about 10 years ago. It was an anniversary release, and it's like a triple thing. And I wasn't particularly into REM at the time, but I think it was something like, for some reason, Amazon advertised it, and it was the wrong price. It was just stupidly the wrong price. It was about £8 or something, and I was just like on the button. I'm getting that. I'll order that. I'll have that. Because it's like, you know, it's a triple album. It's like retails at like 60, 70 quid or whatever, really. But it was like £8. They'd done it wrong. So I've got it. I've listened to it, and completely forgotten about it because, for me, that album it's a radio song, "Losing My Religion," which it's been drilled into. It's like Teen Spirit, isn't it? Or Enter Sandman. That's the one.
Yeah.
That and Shiny Happy People. So the rest of the songs didn't kind of pay attention to, and I didn't want to listen to it because I'm like, they kind of overshadow it.
Yeah.
But it's been such a long time since I've heard those hits that to put the album on, they fit in with the album, and I've been able to appreciate the album for the first time and just really enjoy it. And it's a fantastic album. You can kind of ignore the fact you don't. I thought, my eyes are going to roll when I hear Losing My Religion again, but they didn't. It just fits in with the album. They've got all these other great songs like Low, Texarkana. What's the one? Me and Honey's a great last song, brilliant song. And then the one, there's one called Country Feedback, which Michael Stipe has said since. That's my favourite REM song. I absolutely love doing that. It's my favourite one. It is a brilliant song. So yeah, that's a great album as well. So there's all the ones I've picked up. There's no duffers at all, but I will kind of draw a line after New Adventures, because Up is okay, and then after that it's just, and then they just petered out, didn't they? But
I don't really remember any hits off it. I don't know. I think they kind, as you said, they were. I think they sold well because of their name, not necessarily because of the material.
Yeah,
which
totally.
Like Metallica have done. Like they're just as guilty for it sometimes.
That's the peak of success, isn't it? You can still make an album that everybody shrugs at, but still go and sell out stadiums on a world tour. So you can still do 1 million on a bad album because you are who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, they went away and they've stuck to their word and kept away. So it's a good little story. I think I'm over my REM phase for now.
We'll see when you text me next week and I've bought 4 more.
All the ones in the 2000s are brilliant. I was wrong.
Okay, and now it's time for this.
Stop! They'll sue.
Oh, it's the vinyl countdown. And this week's vinyl countdown has been brought to you by the year 1976, which I still wasn't born, but my brother was. Woohoo!
Ooh. And I was a mere 1 year old.
Yep.
How old's your brother? Is your brother the same age as me or older?
He's 1 year... Well, he's 1976. He's 1 year younger than me.
Oh, so he came along in 76.
Yes.
Loser. So what have you picked? But pre-birth, what have you picked?
I have picked, because of my punk roots, I went for the Ramones' first album, Ramones, which I think I wanted to talk about before ages ago. I think when we were doing the... what's the one we did before this? The Alphabet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've picked that one. Do you want me to go first? Then?
You go first. Go for it.
Okay. Well, obviously, the Ramones, in some people's eyes, started the whole punk movement. I think there was quite a lot of different people doing it. They just were the first ones in America to really kind of get known. They're a funny band because they are seen as punk just because I think their look and the like short songs and stuff. But I think from what I've seen like a few docos and stuff on them, and I think they always wanted to be a big hit pop band, but they could just never get it. So I think that was the whole thing. I think after the third album, Tommy the drummer stepped down because he was like, well, they're not getting anywhere. And I think Johnny Ramone just wanted a hit album. That's all he really wanted. That's why he worked with Spector and all this sort of stuff. Their earlier album is really the blueprint of quite a lot of bands. I was listening to it the other day. It is simple as anything. Like, pretty much about four of the songs, for what I could tell, are pretty much the same same 3 chords, yeah. Just literally just moved up and down a little bit. It's just doodle 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 doodle, and then the next song's very, very similar, maybe up or down. So for a very simple formula, they revolutionised music at the time, like down at CBGBs. And the album, to be honest, I think it is brilliant. My problem with the Ramones is their albums have never sounded as good as they do live, which I think I've said it before when we did the live albums. I love Alive by the Ramones because it's just brilliant. It's a brilliant one. It's got all the hits you want. There's so much energy going on. I find on record they are a little bit subdued.
Okay.
I don't know what you know about the Ramones, or
I don't know great. I know as much as the average music fan, but you can say for most bands, even now, their first foray into a studio is very much do what you're told because you don't know what you're doing. So you're just told do this, do that, we'll sort the magic out. And some bands are just not interested. They just want to go in, play the shit, and fuck off. So if they've gone in, they're revered, they've made an album with a formula that they probably didn't pick studio-wise, and they just get sent back into the studio occasionally, and they just go and do their thing without thinking about actually, we can make this sound better ourselves. We can have a say. Oh, I don't care. Oh, really? I didn't know that. So, yeah. Live, they absolutely, it's them. They're on the stage, they're twiddling the knobs and doing the thing. But in the studio, you kind of get told what to do unless you've got unless you're a bit sussed up and or you're interested and you're keen and you want to learn.
I think everyone always sees the first album as the one. I was probably more of a fan of Rocket to Russia, which is the third one. Mm-hmm. I think they kind of really found their groove then, like they locked in a lot more. But this one, it's still got all the hits and stuff. It starts off with Blitzkrieg Bob, one of the most famous songs by them. Everybody knows Blitzkrieg Bob. Hey ho, let's go. But like all the other ones on here, like their lyrics, to be honest, I think most of the lyrics and music's written by either Dee Dee or Joey. Johnny and Tommy were there, but the main 2 songwriters were Joey Ramone and Dee Dee. When Dee Dee left, they got him back in as a songwriter. So even the albums he's not on, he writes half the material on it. And he is a good songwriter. I think he's very honest. Dee Dee's sort of stuff, you can tell his ones because they're the more blunt, like there's it 53rd and 3rd, basically about him scoring drugs and being a male prostitute.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think they were very good at just saying it how it is. So I think that's probably what the main difference is. Quite a lot of songwriters back in those days, you got your Abbas and stuff, they're just more stories and all this sort of stuff. Like these guys were just saying this is what happens. Like they got songs about sniffing glue, stabbing people, taking people down, beating people up in the basement.
I said most of their songs seem to be, the titles seem to be, I want to do this or I don't want to do that.
Pretty much, yeah.
I want to sniff some glue. I don't want to go down the basement. I don't want to walk around with you.
And then there's the ones which are the Judy is a punk.
Yeah.
Sheena is a punk rocker.
Yeah. Susie's a pinhead. Something like that.
Susie is a headbanger. So yeah, they do seem to have their standard topics. Mm-hmm. But for a debut album, I said it pretty much set the whole American sort of punk thing going. You can see why people saw them and went, I can do that.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
And like they pushed themselves here and there through the years. As I said, they tried to do more lush arrangements and bigger production with what's his name?
Spector.
Phil Spector. Yeah, Phil Spector. That didn't quite work. I think that was their last real push to be big, and it didn't really happen. And then from there, they just sort of went back and finished off their career just bitter, hating each other, and then just putting an album out every so often.
And now they're all dead. Are they all dead?
Yeah, sadly. I think CJ Ramone's the last one. Oh, CJ... no. Who's the other... The original four are gone, sorry.
Yeah.
Because you still got Marky Ramone with his wig.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I love it. Like, there was a point when he was still in the Ramones where his hairline was pretty much at the back of his neck. Yeah. And then the next day, it was full head of hair.
Yeah. And he's like, what?
No.
What? What are you looking at? Yeah. It was always like this. Fuck off.
But no, I do love the Ramones. Like, I think if I was ever going to rebuy stuff, I'd probably only buy the first 3 or 4 because they do get really, really patchy after that. No offence to them. Every album has pretty much got your 3 or 4 known ones, and then the rest is filler. But their first 4 or 5 albums I thought were solid, and then sadly they were just filling it out and putting an album out and just going through the trudge there. I think they decided this is the level we're going to get to, and we'll just keep going, which they did until they finally stopped.
I think they got to about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 albums in, and then it's like, you are the Ramones, and it's like, oh, Ramones, and people come and see you. It's, you know, trading off the name sort of thing. It doesn't matter what you put out because people still love you and you're iconic, but you're never going to move from that sort of pedestal. Whatever you do after that, albums like Animal Boy and that, it's just like, it don't matter, people don't care or remember about them.
Yeah, no, like for 76 from American punk, I do like it. As I said, I am a big fan of the Ramones, but I think the bands that they influenced in the next wave, like your Descendants, people like that who came in that next wave, I think they took it, added a bit more flavour to it and did it better personally. But like, even like the Hard-Ons and stuff, they love the Ramones. Everything they used to support them quite a lot in Australia, but they just took it and then basically went off on their own thing and made it their own. So like, they did great. I think what came out in England I found a lot more interesting, which I think when we do the next vinyl countdown sort of stuff, 77, 78, I'm going to pretty much be in the punk era over in the UK for those ones. And I find for me they were a lot more influential than the Ramones to me, but I can see why this was a staple for the genre, really.
Yeah. Well, they were the Bang, like the Sex Pistols with a Bang, and although separate topic, but although I never mind the bollocks, he's classic, but I'm far more interested in what happened after that album. I'm far more interested in the bands after the Sex Pistols than the Sex Pistols themselves.
I completely agree. There you go, that was my one. So
that's your 1976. How many years before you were born?
Got 3 more. 1979 was me.
Another 3. So, this is my first year on the planet. This is my 1976 album. Sorry, my second year. Yeah, I was 1. I've picked a New World Record by Electric Light Orchestra, and it's twofold. It's not an album I've listened to very often. It's not one of my favourite albums ever. It's not even my favourite ELO album, to be fair, but as a kid, this is the copy that was in our house. I just remember I don't think I was fascinated at 1. I'm not going to be that facetious, but as a toddler and playing with the records and things, I always loved the ELO sleeves because that jukebox image.
Yeah. Iconic.
Yeah, it's just iconic, and I'm looking at this now, and I can still see where I've been leaning on it and writing. I've obviously leaned on it to do drawings and things with crayons, and it's all embossed on the sleeve and stuff. So it's a knackered copy, but it's
nostalgic.
It's very nostalgic. It's something you can pick up for pence, but this is my copy, and it's got a lot of history on here. Just from I could just see myself sitting cross-legged on the floor, flicking through the records. And this is the one from '76, so this is why I've picked it. Like I say, it's not one of my favourite ELO albums. That they're to come, but stuff like Living Things are classic. Everybody knows that. Telephone Line's a classic. Rockaria I like. There's a couple of other 3 songs which kind of because they're still in that sort of malaise where they don't quite know what they want to be. It wasn't until the albums after that where they've just honed it down to pop songs with the orchestra and the guitars, and really found their true sounds that took them forward. The big commercial thing, but this is it's a good album. It just takes me right back, and I've enjoyed playing it, to be honest.
Yeah, they're as I said, I think what I was saying about like traditional songwriters before the Ramones and sort of stuff, like they come from that sort of thing. Like if you listen to some of the stuff they were doing, I think probably, as you said, when they got up to like Blue Sky and stuff, it was just perfect pop melodies, like ABBA and stuff underneath crazy rock with orchestras and God knows what else. So
I think because because they started with Jeff Lynne and Roy Wood, and then they went their separate ways, very amicably, from what I'm told, from what I've read. And then Jeff Lynne just took it in this direction, whereas Roy Wood went somewhere else.
He did Christmas songs.
And Wizard and stuff, and some solo albums that are really highly regarded, to be honest. Yeah, I think with every album post Roy, Jeff just got more and more confident, and he's got a good bunch of guys around him. Just looking at the sleeve now, every one of them is in flares, and every one of them's got a beard and weird facial hair and stuff. It's proper. They look like a proper bunch of tramps. But these were my guys when I was a kid. I had the poster on the. What child, what toddler has a poster of a bunch of grown men, but grown bearded, sweaty men in flares on the wall? I did.
Wow. Can't really remember what my first band poster was. I do remember having a Guns N' Roses one very earlier on.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can't remember. It's a long time ago. I want to say that. I might have had a John Lennon one, but that might have been later. I don't know.
As a teenager, was you a kid with loads of stuff on your wall?
Oh, yeah.
My
bedrooms.
I used to get through so much blue tack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when we moved out, there was just dots everywhere. Yeah. I think my mum and dad, even in one of our bedrooms, I think it was John might as well. One of my walls was just all cork. I don't know why. It looked fucking ugly as shit. But then it would say that we could put all our cut-ins out and posters and everything up there. Yeah, they spent ages decorating it, and then we'd come straight in.
I was just going to say that. I specifically remember the parents saying, right, we're decorating this weekend, so they'll have to pull everything down meticulously for them to paint the wall and do it all nice how they wanted it, let it dry, and then everything went back up.
Yeah, that was it. It's absolutely pointless. May as well just left it. But yeah, no, they were everywhere. I think every Krang magazine had, or Raw Power or whatever it had, pages ripped out and stuck on the wall. And for a while, I think we had a spare bedroom which I had a drum kit set up in to really piss off all the neighbours. And guitars and stuff.
I remember having, because you'd cut all your bits. If you didn't have posters out of Kerrang, you'd cut little pictures and reviews and things that put them up. And I remember just having piles and piles of Kerrangs and metal hammers and things with all the bits cut out. And then my mate would have the same. He'd have a pile of magazines with bits cut, and we'd just sit there playing records on the floor, swapping bits over. Oh, there's a Saxon poster here you might like, or there's a Twisted Sister on it. Just swapping bits over.
Yeah, we did that one. That was it. Yeah, I used to go and my friend used to give me all the Guns N' Roses ones. I'd give him any Kiss ones, and
And now you're 50 and you go, I like this wall beige, and that's it.
Oh, no, I can't say too much. All I do now is I get the posters and I put them in a nice fancy frame, and then I stick them on the wall.
Yeah, more adult-like.
Yeah. I think by my front door I've got a No Effects one, which I open up and it's just got a cartoon picture of a punk giving someone a finger. So whenever I open it up and there's like people's parents collecting their kids, you can just see them going, what?
Oh, it's facing them as you open the door.
Oh yeah, no.
So you open the door,
on display,
stand out of the way. Yeah. This is what I think of you. Goodbye.
Yeah, basically, big mohawked woman giving someone the finger.
See, we never grow up, really, do we?
No, exactly. Brilliant. Well, there you go. 1976. By now, my parents have had my brother and are wondering why they're even considering having another child. So there you go. All right, let's go to the feature, which I'm very excited about.
We got a feature, musical feature. Here comes our feature coming up now.
Hello and welcome back. And it's time for the feature. And this week we are very, very happy to tell you about the new Corrosion of Conformity album, Good God, Bad Man, which there's not much I can say about it. So let's just stop it there. No, it's absolutely brilliant, and we're going to get into it. All right. Anybody who doesn't know who Corrosion of Conformity is, a little bit of background. They were originally from North Carolina, and they came out in the sort of hardcore and sort of metal crossover sort of scene, releasing Eye for an Eye back in early 80s, and basically turned into the three-piece, which was more well-known when they did their Mosity album, which was with Woody Weatherman, Reed Mullin, and Mike Dean. So these guys went on and basically, along with Suicidal Tendencies, pretty much pushed forward the sort of metal hardcore crossover, and got noticed by everyone from Metallica to other bands, and sort of made a lot of friends on the way. Mike Dean then left the band, and Pepper Keegan did join them from New Orleans on second guitar, and they got a different a different bassist and singer, and put out the very well recognised Blind, which kind of went into more of a metal direction with a little bit of Pepper's southern tinge into it. This lineup lasted a couple of years, and then basically the singer and bassist left, and Mike Dean came back to the band, and Pepper took over vocals. And this was pretty much the classic era all the way through until Arms of God, when Reed Mullin left the band and they got Stanton Moore in, and then eventually a couple more little changes, and the last album, No Cross No Crown, was back to the original classic era of Reed, Dean, Pepper Keegan and Woody Woodrow, sorry. Oh, yeah. Weatherman. I can't even remember their names. Terrible. I went and said everybody's name now.
Gee, I mean, you can't go wrong with John, Paul, George and Ringo, can you?
No, I should really just write these things down instead of just winging it.
But anyway, we're punk rock.
Basically,
fuck a man.
Yeah, they came out with their classic era again, and sadly, Mullin died of alcohol-related issues. And eventually, 2 years ago, I think Mike Dean just said that he was going to had enough of touring, so he sort of stepped back. So this is the first album where it was mainly just Woody and Pepper, and then they've brought in Bobby, who used to be the guitarist in Down, and Stanton Moore came back again, which takes us to modern day. So this album is the first one with this sort of lineup. From what I've been told, the pressure was off with them, and they've decided just to go for it. No preconceived ideas. Him and Pepper were just sort of writing away, and Stanton came in to help them out, and I think it's really, really freed them up, because I don't think there's any constraints or any major they're not going for commerciality. I think they sound like they're having more fun than I think they've had in a long time. It's a very free album, I think. But if you want to, before getting into the music, it is one of the best covers I've seen in a long time. What do you think to the artwork?
I think it's, I'm looking at just it's the first time I sat and looked at it closely. For a start, I didn't realise, if you open up the gatefold, the skull thing in the middle is their original logo from the 80s, so it ties in nicely.
Exactly.
So that it's like a proper sort of prog rock metal sleeve. This is what the bands like. This is what their artwork should be like. It's fantastic. There's so much going on. All these weird animals and just mystical symbols and just stuff. It's so fascinating. And I also love when a band doesn't put a logo on the sleeve, because in this case you've got the band, which it's a pain in the ass to get on and off. You can't keep it on like the Houses of the Holy One, Led Zeppelin, but it's cool. It looks cool, and you got all the track listing and that on the band. But yeah, I mean, what a sleeve, man. Really cool.
They very much have decided it's a traditional, from their point of view, a double album.
Yeah,
and I think they very much conceived it or got the concept as a vinyl double album in the old school sort of sense. So you said the artwork, you've got basically album 1, album 2, two different artworks. One's the good God side, one's the bad man side, and So the artwork sort of represents it really. So the good God has got, like you said, the sort of lighter, bluer, more don't know. It's just like almost like the heaven and hell type side. You got the heaven side is the good God, and you go the other side and it looks a bit more demony and red and the colours.
Yeah, I think the bad man side is a bit more devious.
And it's hand painted. So I've seen on Instagram, I sent you the video, didn't I? That it was an artist spent his time and has created this whole artwork. And it's just phenomenal. So from the off, you just want to pull it out and look at it. You got all the lyrics, some kind of weird, trippy photos of the band on the other side. So from a look point of view, it's on Nuclear Blast. I think you can get a coloured version, but it's quite rare. So most people have got the...
Yeah, I wish I'd have thought about it before, because, not being a fan, so to speak, I wish I'd have thought about it in advance and found a coloured version, because that would have just been the icing on the cake.
Well, it's a similar thing. I think it's the red vinyl and the blue one. So anyway, from just the flick factor of a vinyl, there's just so much to look at, and it's just a beautiful piece of artwork and design. So you have that, and then basically you then can put it on. And the bit I love the most about this album, we were talking earlier with Exodus about production, that I love the production on this album. It is so vibrant and live, and you really do just feel you're in this wooden room with the band listening to it. Like, there's mistakes. You can hear like almost the drum still creaking as he's playing, and it's nice to hear it. You
can almost see that there must have been a smoky haze in there as well. You could just it just comes out in the grooves.
Yeah, it is like, and I think from the playing and everything, they've just kept it all in, warts and all, and just gone like, this is it. He said it is a case of you just feel like you walked in the room. They have two, 3 beers in, having a riff around and a bit of a jam, and it really works. And it really is an album, I think they've got it very well balanced, of an album of 2 sides. So you do have the Good God side, I feel, has got a very much sound and feel, and then the Bad Man side has got a very different sound and feel.
Yeah, oh totally.
Yeah.
I think the Bad Man side is when they sort of it's when they open up and they're a bit more of a groove to it. There's a bit more of a wicked side to it, kind of thing, which goes to the theme. Good God, Bad Man. Because the first disc is it's a bit more calculated. It's a bit darker. And it takes you somewhere else. But yeah, if you compare it to just getting drunk, the first one is the concentrated bit, and by the end it's a bit looser. It's the oil's flowing, and it's just got a bit more of a vibe to it. That makes the first side sound better. Bad. It's not. It's just a different beast. They both succeed in what they're trying to do, and as a double album, it works so well.
It does, because I think I've liked the fact that I can just sort of delve into the first side if I want to, and I've played that a few times without feeling the need to go straight on to the other one. So you can just pick and choose what you feel like when playing it. Do you know what I mean? So the first one is, as you said, it's a bit harsher, a bit more hardcore in places, a bit more in your face, I think, as well. Like, they've got some weird, like, trippy moments in it, but the first 3 songs do sort of, I feel they kind of fit together very well. The first one goes straight into the 2 singles, You or Me and then Gimme Some More, which at the time when I first heard them, I wasn't completely taken with the songs, but within the context of the album, they just work so well.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah, because it's just taking a chunk out, isn't it? If you have a chocolate chip cookie, it's awesome. But if you just take a piece of chocolate out, it's all right. I wish there was a cookie to go with it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm totally with that, because I heard the songs, and obviously you know a lot more about this band than I do. I literally got on board when you and Ennis both suggested, get a Corrosion of Conformity album, and I just picked one up randomly, and that's the only one I've heard. That's the only one I know, and that's brilliant. So going into this, I wasn't as excited as you, because you've obviously got the history. But I was like, oh, great, I really enjoyed that one I picked up. So I'll go for this. But I can't believe how much it's affected me. The first listen, before the post turned up, I streamed it and thought, but I enjoyed that. Yeah. And because I was deep into REM. I was like, REM and heavy southern metal, it's not going to work. But it's kind of snapped me away from that. But back to the original point, Give Me Some More, as a standalone single, I enjoyed it. But in this, when it kicks in, you're like, like welcoming an old friend back, because you know that.
Yeah.
And then it just comes back. Yes, now it works. Brilliant.
Yeah, and like it's got all the sort of general flavours that we know before. We've got Pepper and Woody's sort of guitar playing. They lock in. They've got a little bit of harmony guitars here and there, almost discordant solos at times within these sort of earlier ones, and like it's just the interplay between those two works so well. We'll say that Stanton Moore is absolutely astounding on this album. He thunders along, and I think they're more used to the Reed Mullin style drumming. I think this has got a bit more of a Bonham sort of flavour to it with his fills and just the sort of liveness of his drums, and I think it works so well.
It sounds like a room. That's the best. That is the overwhelming story of this album, the production. It just, you're in a room, you know. It's brilliant. It's like you're just sitting in a room with your friends playing.
Yeah, so for the first side, obviously you've got the triple whammy at the start, and then it goes into the handler, which really reminds me of like early Sleep.
Yeah.
It's got that, I don't know what it is, just the vocal lines and the way he's singing it. It's just
a bit hypnotic.
It is very hypnotic. Drones in, and it's just got this real nice flow and pounding. And there's some huge riffs in it. And I think Pepper's on fire with his sort of his singing. Like, he's got a very unique singing voice, I find. Yeah. And it fits in with his style so well. And then you kind of go into, is it, I don't even know how to say it, De Bodwin's Hand? How would you say that?
Is that that's the one after it, isn't it? The
instrumental.
Yeah, it's the link track between that and Run For Your Lives.
Is this where your sticker is just slightly over the line?
I'm just trying to pull the sticker apart without ripping the tab. Run For Your Life, yeah.
It's annoying.
Because Run For Your Life is the long one, the 9-minute jobby. And that's the first, so after a couple of listens, that's the one that really grabbed me.
Yeah. Honestly, it's the perfect end to that first side.
Yeah,
they've really sequenced this album well. So you've got like the front half, you've got the sort of big riffy, the handler, a little bit of a, what's it called, instrumental,
like a segue,
sort of bring you down,
a bit of a
segue. Little palate cleanser, and then it goes into Run For Your Life, which is just absolutely amazing. And I think it's got a spoken word bit on Run For Your Life from Jason Everman, which is that Soundgarden Nirvana?
Oh, is that who he is?
Yeah, because he's talking about being in Vietnam, because obviously he's a soldier. Yeah. That's what he went off to do. But no, as far as I can tell, that's who it is. He came and did the spoken word thing about. Yeah, so like straight out of the gates, the first half of the album is just absolutely amazing. I think it's just so well put together, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. So like I sort of, that first bit, I play it and want to put it back on again, but it works well with the second side as well, because it's so far, considering it's just over an hour, I think, the whole album. I've not got bored of it and gone, quite a lot of time I've gone, I'll put that back on again. But yeah, the production on this one is done by Warren Riker, who did a couple of the Down albums. Yeah. And supposedly he was the engineer on the Fugees, the score. I didn't realise. No. I was just funny sort of thing. But some of this album was recorded in Mississippi, and I was also reading that they went to Miami and recorded at one of the Gibbs brothers from Bee Gees studio. Supposedly used some of his guitars on the album, and met him and stuff. Don't know which brother it is. I thought most of them are dead, but obviously there's still one.
The heavily bearded one, I think, is still alive. The falsetto one. He's probably stood there going, "Oh, play us one of your songs," and they're like, "Are you sure?"
But no, that was really cool. So yeah, and they've taken their time to record the album. I will say though, the bassist who they've got in this album, he just does the job. I don't think he's done any. To be honest, I don't really notice the bass so much, apart from some of the quiet bits. Like I think Dean, who's Mike Dean, he had a very much style to his bass playing. I think it used to sort of lock in and feel. So this one, that's the only thing that I haven't really. His contributions are just there, but they're nothing major. I think he's just come in to just do the job, which is fair enough.
I think it's just texture. I think he's a very sort of. Sometimes you just need that simple thing just to keep everything together. You know, just the bass. The sound of the bass is superb. It's really rumbly and sort of low end. So that is serving his purpose. It's like Mike Anthony in Van Halen. He's very, very rudimentary, but it does the job.
Yeah, so that was the Good God side, I think, works so well. And then you put on the bad man side, and it surprises you, because everyone's like going, oh yeah, it's an album of two halves. It really is. You said the second side just comes straight in with the groove.
With Bad Man, yeah, with the title track. It's brilliant. It's just... They've got a good mix of dark heaviness and sort of, by their standards, Bad Man's almost poppy. It's almost a single.
thing is, their 90s outfit, they did used to have some big like songs like Albatross and like Clean My Wounds and stuff. There was big choruses and hookiness in there, and I don't think over this whole album they've really gone, right, this is our hit and this is the rest of the songs. But as you said, I think that one's definitely got more of a hook to it.
Yeah.
And it's got a wallop on the drums. It's real blow-in and groove. And I think Stanton, from what I know, he plays in a band called Galactic, which is more of a soul, jazzy crossover. So I think he's brought some of his New Orleans sort of funk elements almost to it. And it sounds brilliant.
That is the word I've been looking for. Funk. There's a bit of funk on this side, and it reminds. I can't remember which track it is. There's a song that reminds me of, in its vibe. It reminds me of Stained Glass Cross off Down 2.
Oh yeah.
It's catchy. It's got a bit of funkiness to it, but it's heavy as fuck. I can't remember which track it is, but yeah.
No, so you got Bad Man goes into Lose Yourself, which was one of the songs originally I kind of was going over. I kept like missing, but when I actually finally got into it, that one's an absolute cracker. It's a bit more short and to the point than some of the other ones, but it still works absolutely brilliant. Another little instrumental, which they always did, and then their current single they've just released, Sleep on the Killing Floor.
That's a corker, absolute corker. You're like, oh.
That was one of the first ones that really stood out to me. Yeah. I was just like, that's a tune and a half. Like, you could see that one live coming out quite easily. It's got the groove, it flows along, it's got like your solos, it's got everything you want out of a Corrosion of Conformity song. I think that's like the most COC on the album. Do you know what I mean? It's just absolutely brilliant. And then you're back to a bit more of a swing on Handcuff Country as well, which I love that one as well. There's just, I think that Stanton, I think, was probably come out of the metal side from the first album, has kind of got into his comfort zone a bit more, because I really feel he's bringing a lot of flair to this side of the album. And then Swallowing the Anchor, which is one of my favourite songs.
We both said that. That's because every time you listen to it, something else jumps out, and that's my latest one, Swallowing the Anchor.
Which is funny that it starts off and it's got a bleep.
Yes.
Over a swear word.
Yeah.
But then they put it in on purpose, which is weird because they're swearing all over the album. So it's nothing to do with that. It's very purposely, we don't want you to quite know what word we're using there. I want to say the tits of a witch, but it could be
I think it is, but it's not. It could be anything, couldn't it?
But it makes you, it pricks your ears up, because it comes in and you go, why is that? Why is that?
Why have they done that? What are they hiding?
Yeah. But that one, Swallowing the Anchor, is just the grooviest song on the whole thing. It's just, I love the lyrics, I love the flow of it. It really pulls you in. It's like one of the longer songs on the album at like 6+ minutes, and it really took me, I don't know what it is about it. It's really caught me. I keep going back to that song. And then they're quite well known for their acoustic numbers, and Brickman is their, let's bring it down a little bit before basically finishing off. And that one's just, they do acoustic sort of round the campfire type stuff quite well, and
they do
works really well.
When you get a lot of these sort of stoner heavy bands do acoustic songs, it's kind of, most of the time it's a bit like, all right, get out of your system sort of thing, but they do this really well. It works. Like Monster Magnet do acoustic stuff well, weirdly, and that's another that I can hear bits of Monster Magnet on here as well. And again, not in a plagiaristic way, because they're kind of peers. But for me, liking Monster Magnet, it jumps out at me. Even some of his vocal delivery sound a bit Dave Windorf-ish. But
I'm sure they've all sort of.
They've all.
Because I don't think Pepper was ever. He was never the vocalist. I think he did one song on Blind, and then sort of got thrown into it when everyone else left.
Which is weird, because he's got a great voice. He's got that big old, big old hoary sort of, southern voice. It's brilliant. And to do that, he's I don't know how old. He's got to be late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, probably.
But to have that power in his voice, it's great. Really great.
Yeah, he's got a real southern drawl when he talks. I've got a lot of time for him. I think he's a great guitarist.
I've watched a few of the on Instagram. He keeps showing like he's in the studio videos, and he's peppier. Oh, he's cool. He's just a dude.
Yeah, I love the fact that he sets up all his own guitars. Everyone, they're quite hands-on with this is my sound, I do my stuff. So anyway, out of Brickman, it pulls us into the final track, Forever Amplified, which I think is the perfect showstopper.
I think it's the best song on the album.
And it starts off with just a real grind and like almost a bit more back to the first side sort of thing. It's a little bit of a grind, a little bit of a groove, no vocals for quite a bit of time, and it just moves along until it comes into the riff. And his vocals, isn't it? And he starts pulling it in, and then suddenly out of nowhere, like you got the hook and it's come along, and the main refrain is forever amplified. It took me by surprise. What did it do the same for you? There's a female, is it gospel vocalist?
It just, you like, what, you
came out of nowhere.
You think it's going a way, and then it just doesn't. It's just a fork in the road. You're like, fucking hell, what now?
Yeah, it's proper tingles when that came in. I was like, as you said, I think I know where this is going. They're going to do this, and then it'll like fade out, and it just lifts the whole song. She's the vocalist out of Stanton's band. I found out she is the singer in his Galactic band.
Okay,
she's got a voice and a half. Like,
you just phoned her up and gone, you got 5 minutes? Yeah.
I think that pretty much was kind of thing. I think they're all in New Orleans, and she just popped her head in and basically just blew the fucking socks off it, because it's brilliant, and it's just such a great ending. It's everything you want from an ending. It's a bit anthemic. It's just got a groove. It just takes you to the end, to the last chord just ringing out, and you're just like, you feel spent to an extent, but then you just want to go and put the album back on again, which is what I've been doing most of the time.
It's weird, because normally, like with stoner stuff, if I've got an itch for it, I'll just go and put a Caius album on or something, and it's sorted it. But when this finishes, you're right, you just want to put it on again, because it's over 60 minutes. It's a double album. How many double albums do you want to put on again straight away? It keeps you interested. It's really enjoyable. It's a real ride. And as somebody, again, I'll say it again, who's relatively new to Corrosion of Conformity, to join them now at this point in this stage of their career, and I think it's a fucking brilliant album. You're saying the same, so I'm thinking, right, either the rest of their albums bad, or the rest of their careers. So either the rest of their career's bad and this album's great, or the rest of their career's great and this is just another great one. So for me, it's great, because I'm thinking I've got some rich stuff to dig into. Yeah,
like it fits in with their catalogue. I think it is a new peak for them. Like the Deliverance album is probably my favourite one by them. That one was the first one I heard. It's got the main hits, and it's got these acoustic bits, it's got these little instrumental bits, it's got the big riffs, and I was just like, this is absolutely fantastic. Wise Blood, which is the album afterwards, I saw them supporting Metallica with it. That one's a lot of chunky riffs and some really, really catchy songs. A lot more metal, I think, compared to their more southern stuff, but that one as well, I think is as solid as anything. They had a bit of a misstep after that one, where I think they tried to be a little bit more commercial to just try and get their popularity up, because I don't think Wise Blood sold as well, and that was a bit of a misstep for them, because I think it's not a bad album, it's just the production's a bit weird, and I don't think it's quite up to their usual standard. But apart from that, I think all their sort of stuff they've done is great. As you heard, you've got Arms of God, brilliant album. Cross No Crown, which is the one before this one, also really, really solid stuff. Don't think you can go wrong. I don't think they can write a really bad song. They just might write some ones which don't hit as hard as this. But for them to come back after, I don't even know how many years it's been. It wasn't too long after I moved back here, so it's almost been 10 years in the making, this one, or waiting for.
Okay.
And to come back with such a solid, huge, bombastic, it's a journey. It's an album that takes you on a journey. I think at the moment, not getting too big-headed, but it's a tough one for people to beat, for me, for this year, because it's just ticked every little box.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've not heard a lot of new stuff this year, and I've enjoyed a couple of new releases, but it's knocked me on my ass, because I wasn't expecting it. Like you've been, I'm glad I haven't been on the bus waiting 10 years for that, because you get bored and tired, and the fact it's just completely new to me, and it's here, oh there you go. It's like I've cheated, but not the same result. I think it's a stupendously good album. I've really thoroughly. I thought I'm going to enjoy it. I really enjoyed the last one. I'm going to enjoy it, but I didn't expect it to be as good as it is, and for it to be as exciting and really make me sit up in my chair as much as it has done. Yeah, no, there's just so much. I think even now there's so much to bits I haven't heard yet. There's probably loads of bits in the background. There's loads of things to digest from it. So yeah, I will be playing it way more, I'm sure. So anybody who's a fan or wants to check them out, go and hunt down a copy of Good God, Bad Man by Corrosion of Conformity, out on Nuclear Blast Records. Find your local record store. I think they're touring the UK soon, so that'll be
great if anybody wants to go and see them, because I think they'll put on a show and a half. So that's our feature. Honestly, go and get it. Could be my album of the year.
Could be our first joint album of the year. But having said that, it is only April, so let's not get carried away.
No, but it's a tough one to beat, just from the whole package. So there you go. Right, let's go to the waffle. Let's get our rant on.
It's the last bit of the podcast. It's the last part of the show. It's the last bit of our podcast before we have to go.
Hello and welcome back to the End Waffle. Obviously, probably about the time this is coming out, either Record Store Day has been or it is coming. I can't remember which one it is, and I don't care.
We lose track of time.
We do. We'll just have a quick go through. Like Record Store Day, everyone knows our opinions on it. We had a little quick look through the list. There wasn't too much this year that really took my fancy. There's your usual exclusives, which we're probably going to be turned into your regular buys or out in the shop anyway. Lots of live stuff, lots of overpriced stuff. I'm sure there'll be a fall album in there somewhere as well. I think the Danzig ones, which have just been released anyway, are getting a Record Store Day coloured vinyl and God knows what else. But when I went down the list, there wasn't heaps that took my fancy. Like I saw
there's normally about 4 or 5 I see, and I think, all right, if I could be bothered, I'll go and grab a couple. But this time, I can't even think of one. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I saw the Sugar box set, but I'm not too worried about that one. Like the singles. Yeah, I'm just having a quick look down the thing. Yeah, there's nothing really going out. Oh yeah, Seventh Star, which is one of the ones they didn't have in the box set. Black Sabbath, but that one is.
But that'll come out anyway. This is what they did last year.
Yeah, I think I saw a couple of things where they want to charge you about 50 quid for, and I'm thinking, who's going to pay that?
There was one that was it was 50 quid, and I was like, really?
Oh, was it the Bob Mould one?
It's just a standard album.
Bob Mould, Body of Song. That's 50 quid, isn't it? And I'm like, but you can buy it on a box set for 60 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. But it will probably get a standalone again anyway. Like we've said before on the Bob Mould feature, they do handle his back catalogue very well, so that will be available at some point. If it was one of his best ones, you'd think about it, but it's really not.
No, I noticed Cold Cut, who I'm a big fan of from like the 90s. Their final album so far, Sound Mirrors, I think that's been out of print for a long time. So there's like a crystal vinyl edition of it coming out, so I'm slightly interested in that one. I think it's in the 30 quid range. I'm expecting it to come out anyway, probably on black vinyl on Ninja Tune, but if I go past my local and they've got it, I might pick it up, because I do like the album. It's like,
you wouldn't that's the sort of stuff I like, where you wouldn't mind. It's something you like, it's fairly reasonably priced, you've not seen it for a while, it's out of print. That's the sort of thing you want. That for me is what Record Store Day is about, but I never see. Yeah. Well, like for example, for a couple of years running, they did Wipers albums.
Oh yeah.
And they were great reissues of them. You got posters, signposts, it's really cool stuff. And then they just stopped doing them. And it's like, why didn't you carry on? You obviously got the rights to do it, so why have you not carried that on? Because there's another 3 or 4 after that.
Yes, I saw that one. There's a Misfits one, which. Yeah, I think that one's more of a nostalgic one. I remember moving to Kingston in London and going to a Tower Records when it was still there, and that album was playing, and I ended up buying it and listening to it quite a lot. But I'm sure that one will probably just come out on regular, and it's not their best album, so I'm not going to cry if I don't get it. I did see the Hidden Treasures by Megadeth is finally getting which is like a B-side comp, is getting a vinyl one. That one's tempting-ish. It's got some quite good songs. It's got all the ones from film soundtracks, like Last Hero, what's it called? Last Action Hero.
Yeah. Was it Angry Again? Was it Angry Again?
And things like that.
No More Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, a few of those ones. So, it's tempting. But there's nothing that's made me go, oh, I have to go and get that. So, I think it's one of those wait and sees. If I'm in the area, I might pop my head in the afternoon. I'm not queuing. But if not, I might just go there on the Monday and see what's left, because no doubt there'll be quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That there always is. Like you say, there might be a fall one. It's going to be a fall live album, and everywhere you go, you see fall live albums in a cheap box, because nobody wants fall live albums.
Yeah. Mark E. Smith, even more ranty and in unable to tell what he's trying to sing. So cool. All right. Well, there's obviously been some new stuff as well. So you're very, very excited. You've already bought your tickets. You're ready to go. You got your popcorn. What is it?
Absolutely. It is the Iron Maiden Burning Ambition documentary, which a documentary we never thought was going to be made. Obviously, 50th anniversary celebrations, and it's coming out at the cinema in May. As luck would have it, I'm off that week anyway, birthday week.
You booked it off in advance.
I booked it off in advance. I got my ticket, nice recliner seat in my local cinema. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that. I love that band.
That band. They're your descendants.
Yeah, basically.
No, I think that's cool.
And I fully expect, because I bought the book a few months ago, the 50th anniversary book, and it's a big, lovely thing. And I've flicked through it a couple of times. I've not sat down and had a good go at it. So I'm expecting watching the documentary and coming out and going, oh my God, and then just being in Iron Maiden phase for months.
Yay.
Hey. So what have you been listening to this week, Daniel? Actually, right, so we're in 1986 now, Simon, and Bruce has started doing this, and Adrian started doing Oh, Iron Maiden again, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
What an exciting podcast we now lead. Oh, wicked. And I did see the trailer. It does look cool. Like, even if I'm not a fan of bands, I do enjoy a good trailer. I'm not a fan of Iron Maiden. I do have their albums. I've just never gone full Maiden. I see their benefit. I don't know what the word is. Watching some of the live footage of Bruce Dickinson, he's very over the top when he's talking. Hide!
Scream for me, Sarajevo.
Which he reminds me of the singer from my old band in Australia, because the rest of us were all just sort of dirty punks, and then there was Nathan, who is just proper classic rock, nothing else, and he was the singer of our band. Like, he did a great job, but he was proper, like, he brought his own crate, put his leg up on it, and scream for me, Sydney, to the drunk bloke at the bar and the person wondering who we are. So, yeah.
I remember going to a gig in Warsaw once. It was a band, I think we were supporting them at the time. Or we were supporting them the following week, and I went the previous week to see them. And there was like 5 people in the room, and the singer come off the stage with his microphone, and he's doing that thing where he's going around the people in the room, putting the microphone in the face. I'm like, well, there's 5 people here. Yeah. Nobody knows your songs. He put it in my face, and I think I was just like, all right. Oh, it was embarrassing.
One of my favourite gigs we ever played is, I think there was a lecturer when I was at college over in Sydney, and he had like a funk band and all this sort of stuff, and I think he was trying to put a night together because he had to have so many bands. And I mentioned that I was in a band. He goes, oh, yeah, you should play. Never asked us for a second what style of music we were. So there was all these like jazz things, and then we went on, and it was my A, and G band. So we did one rehearsal the day before. Everyone had notes of how to play because we didn't like rehearsing. And then we went on and played about 35 minutes, but most of it was just waffle in between because most of the songs were 30 seconds long. And I was trying to show the guitarist what to play for the next one. I think Nathan came on the end and did 2 Falling Downstairs songs, but I just remember after we got a really good reception, but everyone looked so like, what the hell is this band doing on this gig? So yeah, that was good fun. I think getting a good crowd behind you, even though they had no idea who the fuck we were or the same sort of style, was brilliant.
You could just see it in their eyes. They're just looking at you going, what? Yeah. But you have to concentrate on what you're doing and just get off quite quickly.
It used to be good fun. I used to love playing in bands and playing in Sydney, but yeah, it was one of those ones. Cool. All right. What other things are now on our wavelength? You saw something yesterday, I think, and you texted me, which I don't know if I'm excited or not about.
I did. Well, I'm the same. However, there is a story behind it. 9 Inch Nails have announced a new collaborative album with Boys Noise, who I believe is a one-man band, sort of DJ remixer type artist.
Boys Noise, my God.
He played the last tour with them, and from what I've heard of that tour, great stuff. So they've announced a collaborative album which is coming out next week. So I am looking forward to that, to be honest. I was disappointed with the Tron soundtrack because we thought, oh, it's 9 Inch Nails, it's going to be songs, and it wasn't. It was just a soundtrack. So it'd be nice to hear a 9 Inch Nails album. But again, I don't know what elements what
this person's bringing.
Yeah, basically. Now I've heard a friend of me sent me some live recordings from the Peel It Back tour they did with him.
Yeah.
Some old Nine Inch Nails songs that have been radically remixed, reordered live, and that sounds great. He's done some great stuff with them, and I was always a fan of Nine Inch Nails remixes. Anyway, they could take their songs wherever they want because the bones are there.
Yeah.
They could do whatever they want with them. So live, the footage I've seen, the videos seem cool as well. It really seemed like the tour to go to for Nine Inch Nails.
Wicked.
So I am interested. I'm looking forward to hearing it. I don't know what he's going to bring to him in a studio setting rather than a live setting, but we'll see. We've only got a week to wait and find out. So.
No, it's an interesting one. Yeah, no, it's cool. They're sort of back to when they were just like dropping the Ghost album and the Slip and stuff. So
I mean, the world's an oyster. And what I will say about Trent is one thing he doesn't get credit for is his voice. Now, so many decades in, he's still great. He's still got a great voice. I mean, he's not a typically classic singer with great, stretching the vocal cords sort of thing, but he's still got the voice. It still sounds great.
No, I very much agree. I always loved his voice. I thought he had, very good. It always sounds very fragile at times, but then powerful when it wants to be.
Yeah, basically, because he can really sort of, that whisper sort of thing, and then just go into a sort of aggressive thing. Great.
No, well, look, we'll wait and see what comes out. I'm guessing it'll go straight to streaming, and we'll give our opinion on it soon. Right, the only last thing that I saw, which then sparked a bit of a debate with me and you, is I saw that Rachel Bolan, the bassist and chained-faced fella from Skid Row,
the chain-faced one,
has announced a solo album called Gargoyle of the Garden State, which will be out in July. I've heard the first single. It's alright. I don't know if he's singing on it or what, but it kind of sounds like he's doing this now because at the moment Skid Row are once again without a vocalist and not doing anything. So I don't know if he's just gone, wow, I may as well do this. And then you were the one who's told me that the way that they're currently looking for their new vocalist is, was it they've gone through
auditions.
Yeah, they've done 300 auditions. But I thought I saw somewhere as well that they were doing almost like a competition thing, like to win it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, for God's sake, like everybody knows what they need to do. Like the first two Skid Row albums, I love. Subhuman Race, I can let it slide. They were trying something different. But then since then, the vocalist who replaced Sebastian Bach wasn't very good. Whatever his name is, Johnny something. And they did two quite bad or passable albums, a couple of EPs, and then they got rid of him. Then they had the fella from Dragon Force for a bit, and then he left. And then they had someone from, is it TNT? He lasted about one gig, and then he left as well. And then they got, what's his name, Eric from Sweden.
Eric. Yeah, he won the Swedish Pop Idol or
doing
something.
Skid Row.
He did one. Yeah, he did. Yeah, basically. So so he did. I think he did an EP with them, maybe. And then he got sick. He got leukemia, I think. And then so he went, but he's actually gone and worked with Michael Schenker since. I saw him with Michael Schenker last year. He was very good. He's very good, but he's playing a part. You can see why he won the Rock Idol thing, because he's pretending to be a rock idol. And that's harsh. He's a good singer, but he's not.
I did buy the album, the way he did with them, and it's the closest to traditional Skid Row that they've done. And he does do a very good-ish Sebastian Bach type thing. But as much as they're denying it, we both said the same thing. They should just suck it up, get Seb back, and just get on. Like, whether they have to get separate buses and they only see each other on stage. It sounds terrible, but they may as well just do it, because neither of them have really had a proper career since. Like, Sebastian Bach's solo albums have pretty much done as well as the Skid Row stuff. If they want to admit it or not, they're a nostalgia band now. They may as well, like you've said yourself, they'll release a new album, they'll play 2 songs off it, and then they go back to all the first two albums heavy. And
yeah, which were 35 years ago. So they'll do a set now. I mean, I haven't got a dog in this race. I'm not a particular fan of Skid Row. I'm like you. I like the first couple, but yeah, it's 2025, 2026, whenever they last played. 90% of the set is from the two albums they did in the late 80s and 1991, I think, Slave to the Grind.
Yeah, I think so.
And then a couple of new ones, and then that's it. So you're picking you've got the rich pickings from two albums in a 2 or 3 year period, and then you're picking two songs from the last 35 years. So just get set back. I mean, for God's sake, because honestly, nobody cares about you without Sebastian. Because at the minute you're playing clubs, I don't know who you think you are, Rachel, but you're not. You're not the guy. Seb's the guy. So people see your name, Skid Row, playing here tonight at Buttfuck Club in the back of fucking Milwaukee, and they're immediately going to say, I love Skid Row, and they're going to go in there, oh, where is he? Because you're not him. So get him back. Why wouldn't you just want to do that? I know there's interpersonal things, but I mean, he left, Christ, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Is it that bad? If you want to make some money at it, just get him back in. You'll make a fortune. You'll play big gigs, and then you can go away again after. Nobody's interested, Rachel. Nobody's
almost
interested.
Impossible of the Guns N' Roses getting back. At that point, that looked so toxic, it was never going to happen. They've somehow managed to actually ever sit down in the same room and got over it. And
that was the biggest fallout in music. That was Axl versus everybody else, and if that can be resolved,
it's not too. As you said, I think at their peak, they were playing Wembley Arena and all this, and they were taking bands like Pantera with their support act, in the early 90s. That shows what they were. And as you said, I think their last tour here, I think they played Cornwall something venue in Cambridge, which isn't that big, and do you know what I mean? They're not. I don't know why they just need to this is embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. So
it really is, because nobody does care, and the fact he's still got a chain on his face as a grown man. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's I don't know why it caught my attention, but I was just because he said something like, "Yeah, we've had something like 300 auditions. We're still looking. If you can't find somebody that sounds exactly the way that one man sounds,
yeah."
After 300 people, that's sign number one. And then he said something along, and I'm paraphrasing, he said something along the lines of, we don't, because the question was something like, why don't you want to go with somebody established and famous? And he went, oh, we don't want to get anybody famous, but of course, once they're in, they'll be famous. They really won't. They really will not.
I agree. At the end of that, as you said, it's been a long time. I think Sebastian back in the day was a bit of a coke fiend, a bit of a drunk. I think he's sober now. He's got a bit of attitude, but he always has done. Rock
and roll, man. He's rock and roll. I like Seb.
So
he's still got a great voice. You know, I mean, Axl hasn't. Seb has. You could just pick him straight off the shelf and put him straight back in. It's by and large the same people. He still plays the songs live. They do. It's a no-brainer, and the paycheck's going to be bigger, and the fans will love it. So at the minute, he's fronting Twisted Sister, which is just weird.
I don't know. I'm not the biggest Twisted Sister fan, so I was just like, okay, go for it.
Yeah, you carry on.
Yeah. But there you go. So, yeah, he's got a solo album. No one's going to really care, so...
Thanks, Rach.
Crack on. There you go. That is us for this week, and we will be back again soon with more utter rubbish spewing from our mouths and misinformation and all that kind of stuff.
Mostly misinformation. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Forget everything to do with the feature and who's on it and what their names are. Can't wait. Look forward to it. All right.
At least I could be ignorant because I don't know anything about the bands anyway.
Going, oh yeah, that's interesting.
Is it okay? Yeah. I'll just take your word as gospel. I mean, until I sit down later with a beer and look through the internet and go, what was he saying? That's not right.
What twaddle was he going on about? All right, well there you go. That's it for me. Thank you very much. Toodles.
Goodbye.
You heard it online, and you think there's no rival?
You want it for your collection, but have you heard it on vinyl?